play this on my screen. Yeah, I'm gonna play it through the stream window. Hey, Scorch! Ooh, I see they're calling out A-ranks now. So, hello. How y'all doing? Hope y'all are doing good. Sorry for a late start. Just things happened. So, one thing I want to do before I start. I don't know if y'all recognize this thing. I got it with my little package the other day. I'm gonna clip this on. Give me just a second. You can tell I don't usually do things like this because I'm fumbling around with it. This is gonna go. Ow. Very slight ouch. Let me do this before I make a fool of myself on camera. I mean, I am a fool, but whatever. Okay. You get the idea. Just something I really wanted to do. I know it's not perfectly aligned, but yeah, I think I'm gonna keep this with me. For the rest of my journey. If that's okay. So I think, based on my disconnect last night, I think we're actually going to replay some cutscenes. Some traumatic cutscenes, to be honest. So again, for anybody watching, I'll give the warning right now. If you're sensitive to such trigger warnings, like, do I want to spoil it? Okay, for people who are sensitive to suicidal ideation, the next few minutes you probably want to, and cannot take that well, you might want to look away for the next few minutes. So, yeah, we got kind of bamboozled with the disconnect earlier, a couple days ago. I wanted to keep going on my while I was working, but I just knew, like, if I tried, I wasn't going to be any good. This theme is just so fucking haunting. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that was... Oh, shit. But that kind of gives you the... Excuse me. A good glimpse into how the Garleans view us rolling in and offering help. Even in the face of this fucking apocalypse, they would rather die than accept our help. I think we're going to replay another cutscene too that kind of was a little bit more sentimental to me. But with the disconnect being what it was. Oh, and for y'all, I know y'all watch me on Twitch, but I also simultaneously stream to YouTube. I played that area back when I had a chance on both platforms, and the YouTube one never really seemed to have an issue. It seemed like it was Twitch that had the disconnect, which is weird. I mean, Twitch is the main thing I'm streaming to. It's kind of like the platform that is I'm basing this off of. Give me just a moment before I start this again. I need to do something right quick. Bad death machine. Still want to shadow. I know, right? No. Lord, no! I know, I'm awful, aren't I? Okay. Yeah, but that's usually how it works, especially in Final Fantasy XIV. It's like the 2002 era. I lucked out earlier because I was actually like fixing my hair, and it disconnected again, and it gave me the 2002, and I guess I just happened to catch it right in time because it allowed me right back in. Give me a moment, please. Ulysses lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Yes, we're gonna wait here.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to.
Tried to protect them, and you couldn't. I just had a thought, but I'll let this cutscene play out first, and then I'll try to elaborate on it.
I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised.
I've made a promise too. I've made a promise too. And you know who I've promised well.
The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center, the blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here?
That's a good point. I mean, Garlemald, like it or not, it has its own identity, has its own set of values, its beliefs. Probably not completely unlike our Eorzea. But sometimes politics gets in the way.
If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us?
Probably not. No.
I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
Hydaelyn's blessing is very limited at this point.
It's no use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you.
But she wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
Yep, that's what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to play along and keep the faith that you will be okay. I'll say so extra here at this point. Bless her.
It's so cold.
Keep warm somehow.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
I know the first time I went through the scene, I was like, have we just sentenced them to their... Have I just sentenced them to their doom?
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians united as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world?
All the people of the world have a place. Garlean, Eorzean, Alamegan, Ilsabardian, and whatever else have you. It just, you know.
But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you.
I can't remember the quote word for word, but what was it? Not saving somebody that you have the power to save is not wisdom, it's indolence.
And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
Amen. Amen.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Mm-hmm. We do that here. We do.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined.
It's something though. It sure is. But you know what? Nothing gets better if we don't try. It's for that, Alpha, no, please never change. Never change.
But it only spurs me onward. To find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too.
Really, Alice? Because I saw how you acted when you came back from the first.
Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand. To refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
Here's one of the things I really love about this game. This game has a way of bringing out thoughts in your heart that and you can't help but express them. And then down the road, and then even down the road, it's like this game confirms your feelings for you. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's just gives me goosebumps that sometimes even word for word, it'll kind of confirm what I'm thinking.
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
You're more up to the task than you know, Alphino.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me?
See, right there.
If you stumble, I'll be there
Last
to catch
time
you.
I went through that.
Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
When I went through the scene for the first time, that don't ever change, you know. Just, I don't know how this game does it, but it just has that way of bringing out your feelings, your thoughts, and then confirming it for you. And it's I don't know how to describe it. It's just so special. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Alice.
Aww. Stay in if you can. And there they are leaning on each other. Now, Estinian, I want to know, are we going to see the consequences of your actions here soon? I mean...
The scouts have secured Alize and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Going to drive us out with what? With what? With stubborn pride?
Ambush!
Pride can be a healthy thing, but with too much pride, it can be
More are coming! Make
your
ready!
destruction.
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return!
This theme is so fucking badass.
Stop, both of you!
Needed to continue to go into those strings.
This
Oh my
child may be the worst emissary I've ever seen.
God. This child may be the worst emissary I've ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience.
You know, I wonder what type of significance there is with the each legion, the numbered legions, and if or how do they relate to like the other Final Fantasies, the other numbered Final Fantasies, I guess. If there
They
is any.
explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure.
Cause it's ultimately the 10th that sues for peace.
Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted.
The first would be the 9th in that case. I see.
That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies. Every word.
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
Some members of the first have name connections to members of Tantalus. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the number 14 plays quite a significant role in this game, obviously, as it should. Have the ill stand down. I tried to look up to see if there's a translation for that word the other night, when I was at work. I couldn't really find one. I don't know if you all know anything about that. But with this, the message is that there is no hope for a Garlean. It's a rank. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that makes... Okay. With this, any hope Garleans have dictator holds the same power as the Emperor in times of crisis. So, yeah, basically for the dictator to stand down. or well, dictator in Roman times was not necessarily what we think of as dictator. I mean, it very well, they very well could be dictators in our sense of the word, but it wasn't necessarily, you know, all-powerful leader. Have the ill stand down. And with this, any hope of a Garlean liberation of their own city has ended. And the 10th suing for peace with the Grand Company of Eorzea, it means either suffer the indignity of relying on the savages, or fall into despair.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision.
So they asked for aid and they could not
Bereft of hope, and now dignity.
Again, for people sensitive to traumatic things, you might want to look away now.
I release you from your duty. All of you.
And that is what happens when a commander is prepared to go down with his duty, with his command. A captain of the ship, or an admiral, general.
I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity.
All good, lofty ideals. But is it truly peace when it's subjugation?
We are ghosts, you and I. Memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of a racial element with this. Well, I won't say racial. I mean, I guess it could be, but let's be honest. I see some parallels here with some countries, and my country being one of them, especially with certain elements. But I'll save that discussion for another time. That's not what this stream is for.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
It's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
At least for Quintus. It's too late.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Yeah, that scene is heavy. Yeah. They did a good job building that team up, you know, with the radio beforehand. It's very creepy and unsettling. We will make no attempt to resist. Much and more has occurred since last we met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. Yeah, it really is fantastic, you know, how they play with these themes and subvert them or build on them. It's a beautiful craft. It's a really beautiful craft. Turn the game volume down a little bit, just because I don't know if I'm coming across clear enough. Lucia. Strange bedfellows. With the immediate crisis averted, Lucia seeks to gain a clearer understanding of the present situation. It was drowning me out. How does it sound now? Is it better? I don't hesitate to tell me if I need to adjust things. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. It's fucking desperate. Desperate ain't the word for it. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. They were preparing for war, while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry. A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nope. Yep. Pretty much. I think we said as much before. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic, but perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Euless back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphino, Alice, and the scouts sent to extricate them should already be at the station. I'll also have our other comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. Pursuit of power. Romano would like your opinion on something. Just who I was looking for. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Romano of Ishgard. I have been put in charge of our arrangement with Tapper's Den, you see. However, the very first of the Tappers to come bearing ceruleum has asked quite a lot of us, if I do say so. They wish for our help in getting Juturna Platform G up and running. The very same platform that's at the head of the Imperial's primary energy pipeline. What's more, he's a Garlean. I was convinced the only engineers left in Tapper's Den were from conquered territories. In any case, I'm not qualified to judge the motives of the man. I'd feel much more at ease if I had someone of your experience helping to make the call. I thank you for your willingness to assist. Let us go and speak with the Tapper in question. Then. He's a man by the name of Appius. Yeah, just picking up the Aether current quests. I suppose you must be the friend Romano wanted to fetch. You have my thanks for getting him to agree to my proposal. Do not misunderstand. I have yet to agree to any such thing. I merely wanted someone else present during our talk. Very well, though I do believe my proffered deal would be a boon to us and the Ilsabard contingent alike. I used to work on Juturna Platform G, you see, so I know more than most about the facility and its operation. That may be so, but your relationship to the facility notwithstanding, why should a Garlean such as yourself still be taking refuge in Tapper's Den? We've been led to believe that the former workers residing there were from other territories. You're right on the technicality. I was a supervisor rather than your typical staff. When the platform went down, it only seemed right that I stay with my crew. I always thought we were close, but living alongside them in Tapper's Den has made me realize that I took them and their skills for granted. And that's to say nothing of the blind eye I turned to their struggles. That's why I came to you. It's high time I be of some real use to them, and everyone else if we're lucky. If we manage to get the platform back in working order, it'll dramatically increase our capacity to pump and refine ceruleum for everyone in the region. Sadly, we're more than a few hands short of a full workforce, not to mention the lack of supplies. Which is precisely where you come in. Help us get things up and running again, and you'll have your share of the ceruleum coming out of the rig. You couldn't come up with a more mutually beneficial arrangement if you tried. So he says, what do you think? We need to break some ice here. Seems trustworthy to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes, I've been leaning the same way myself. Ultimately, what he says about the potential benefits is true. Nevertheless, I doubt the high-ups would assent to this. I suppose that is how it goes when you're dealing with military types. For what it's worth, I do understand the hesitancy to throw your lot in with someone from a hostile nation. Thus, part 2 of my proposal. I shall do you a service to prove myself worthy of the contingent's trust. I had a look around the fringes of your camp here before you arrived, and I've spotted a few ceruleum engines in need of repair. If I fix them up, your superiors would have no reason to suspect that I want to see you driven out. That's reason in any case. Assisting us with the use of local technology would go a long way, I'd imagine. That said, I've not heard anything about the ceruleum engines we've scavenged breaking down. It is not as if they're entirely useless yet, but I guarantee they're not running as they should. Give me the opportunity, and I can have them working more efficiently and safely. Or is he going to blow them up? You are welcome to accompany me while I do so. That way you can ensure that I won't get up to anything suspect, and then vouch for me with your superiors. I have no objections. I trust you will sense anything amiss. Let us begin with a proper inspection, then. We can get to work as soon as you're ready, Lorraine. Though the ultimate objective is to get the engines running at full capacity, the purpose of this inspection is to work out what parts we'll need. However, I would hate to fumble something and be accused of sabotage, so I'd appreciate it if you could be the one to lay hands on the devices. Never fear, I'll be right behind you, telling you what to look for. If we inspect, say, 3 of them, we should have a decent idea of what needs repair. Lead the way. Remember, 3 engines in total. You do the touching. Where are they at? Shoot, I want to get back to the main story. Shoot. Oh, I was tracking them, didn't I? Shit. Okay. Why is the third one always so hard to find? Oh, there it is. Okay. Praise be to your deft hands. I have an idea of what our next step ought to be, though perhaps it would be best to appraise from know of our progress first. Okay. How are our engines? Alas, I fear that each of those we examined are guaranteed to break down sooner or later should you continue using them in their current state. Surely you jest. I swear it on my integrity as an engineer. You are in dire need of instruction in the proper operation of ceruleum engines. Makes sense. You kinda aren't the experts at using ceruleum. You saw the little lamp light up when you touched its switch, correct? That only illuminates when there's an issue with the engine. They were switched off for want of fuel when the settlement was abandoned, no doubt, which prevented them burning out, only let them freeze solid instead ere your lot turned them on. From the state they're in, I can only assume it didn't occur to you to warm them up first. I noticed you have heating technology of your own, but it will do you no good should the engines to power them break, now will it? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain from my assistance. I am a machinist from Frozen Climes myself, and what you say sounds plausible enough. Very well. On behalf of the camp, I formally ask you to repair the ceruleum engines. I suppose that means I will be taking responsibility if anything goes wrong, so you may as well use your own two hands this time. That's the spirit. I knew you'd come around. Okay. MSQ. MSQ. Gotta make the arduous trek back to Tertium again. God, this scene. I don't know how, but it feels like Masayoshi Soken went even harder. At least from what I've heard so far, he went harder for this expansion than he did even for Shadowbringers. And for Shadowbringers, he went off. But this, holy shit! What? Oh shoot! You sent me something. I forgot to check it out right quick. I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's the titles. That's the ill. Temporary leader appointed only in times of emergency, and given all the rights of the Lord Emperor. Leader of the Senate. It's kind of blurry for me. Wielding direct influence with the council. Oh, nice! Congrats! Make that Gale. I couldn't tell which one was front and which was the back. Masayoshi Soken. I am convinced Masayoshi Soken is a primal in human form. Especially after all he's been through. At least I hope the prayers and encouragement that we've given him. Okay, there's Alice. Just a comfort.